Should I set up a payroll in my property company? Hi, I'm Kimberly Shapcott, qualified chartered accountant with over 15 years experience, property investor and entrepreneur. Should I set up a payroll in my property company? Now, that is a great question and one I've been hearing very regularly in recent years. And the reason it's relevant is because you've got money in that company that's being generated by rental income or sourcing or something property related. And how do you get that money out? Now, there's a separate video on how to take that money out, but one of the options is having it through a payroll. Now, that is not as simple as it may sound, because there are quite a few considerations to actually make on whether it's the right option for you and for your company. Now, the very first consideration is, are you employed full-time or part-time, and are you using your personal allowance? Now, the personal allowance is around the 12.5 sort of level, and that kind of means if you're earning less than 12,500, then it may be worth considering having a payroll through the company. If you're earning well over that, then you've probably got to the best part of the video, which is saying you probably don't need to have one. But just hold on, don't go anywhere, because there are a few other options that you might consider depending who in your household is earning money. Now, the other thing is, if you're not working, you may wish to set up a payroll in the company for tax reasons, to make sure you tick the box to get your state pension in the future. Because by paying yourself a minimal director's salary, you'll tick the box to enable you to get your state pension in the future. To get your state pension, you have to have between 30 and 35 years worth of stamps under national insurance, and then you're entitled to the state pension, whatever that may be in the future. The other thing to consider is, are you going to be able to get your statutory maternity, paternity, statutory payments if you're not working? You may be able to claim statutory maternity allowance, but if you are on the payroll in your own company, you may be able to get the full statutory maternity pay or statutory shared parental leave pay or statutory paternity pay. So there's quite a few options there that may be worth considering. Obviously, in recent years with the pandemic, there's also been that open thing of furlough, that anyone who was paid through their own company were entitled to furlough. So hopefully we won't need to fall back on that into the future. But again, another option that if there is anything like that in the future, that there may be tax breaks, tax advantages to having things as a payroll through your company. And the final thing to just throw out there is there's something called tax-free childcare. So if you have got a child and you are earning under 100,000, then you may be entitled to get some of this tax-free childcare. But there are requirements under the tax-free childcare, one of which is earning a minimum wage, as well as working a minimum number of hours. Now, through your own payroll, you'll be able to make sure you comply with the minimum salary, and as an employee of your own company, you set your own hours. So therefore, you would automatically likely tick the box for working the minimum number of hours. So again, another great way of using this sort of planning to tick all the boxes for you as a family, to get some of the tax benefits that are available to you, as well as do a range of different things. So let's look at this from the company's point of view. What benefits does the company get? Well, the company gets your payroll, your salary, as a tax deductible item. So that means that you will reduce your corporation tax because you'll be reducing your profits by the amount of salary that you do actually take. So that means your corporation tax bill is going to go down. So this is why if you are not using your personal allowance, it becomes quite beneficial to actually look at having a salary through your company, because you personally are not going to be paying any tax and it's helping reduce the company's tax bill. So one or two great advantages for you and for your company. Now, if you are earning above the personal allowance threshold, this is where it becomes less advantageous, because in some ways you're probably better taking money out of the company in a different manner. Whereas if you aren't using that bracket, it's a really great way to really make use of it and help reduce the company's tax liabilities. As mentioned earlier, I mentioned that it may be you have a partner or you have children who are over the age of 13, and they might be helping with the property business. So they might be taking photos for you when you go on viewings, if you take them with you. They may be dealing with things when you get back home and doing the filing, helping put mailings through people's doors. There's many things that they may be assisting in your property business with. So why not put them on the payroll? Now, again, a great way to really make use of this sort of opportunity to set up a payroll, put them on, and then they get their money directly to them rather than having to come out of taxed income that you have. Now, what I mean by taxed income is if you take the money out of your company, you will get taxed on it and then you will pass it on to the next person in the chain. So your children, partner, whoever it may be. Now, if they are not making use of their tax allowances of $12,500, then you could put them on the payroll, pay them direct, which therefore means there's no tax implications for you, and it goes directly onto them as individuals. Now, we've seen this work great for those that are potentially have children who are 16 to 20, who might be wanting part-time work, who are helping in the business, or they're off at uni and helping with different documents and different things while they're away, because they can use the cloud to do some of these things. So there's some great opportunities to really make the most of this, especially with maybe stay-at-home partners who might be looking after children, or they're not working at the moment for whatever reason it may be. Could you put them on the payroll and take money out of the company and be tax efficient for them and for you, and make it work for you as a family? And finally, what does it actually mean to have a payroll? Well, I've got a separate video on that because it's a slightly bigger topic than I want to go on to at this exact moment. But the general gist of things is that you'll need to set up a payroll, you'll need to set up some software, and you'll need to start running a payroll and sending submissions to HMRC on a regular basis. Typically, we say on a monthly basis, so that it really just keeps things easy to manage and easy to operate. But check out the separate video if it's the right decision for you to set up a payroll, and make sure that you know exactly what you need to do to make this work for you, your family, and your business. I hope today you've discovered whether a payroll in your property company is worthwhile or not. If you have any property, tax and accountancy related questions, please do leave a comment in the box below. I'll look at covering them on a future video. Click like and please subscribe to the channel to find out about more property, tax and accounts related topics. Let's make tax less taxing.